everyone. My name's Leah Farrell, and I'm an alum from the class of 2021. Before I begin, I just cannot overstate the positive impact that all of my teachers had on me during my time at ISK. So to everyone, I just have to say thank you, and thank you again for all of the lessons that you've taught me and the support that you offered me during my time in high school. And to all of you high schoolers, I just have to say, man, what a incredible community and what a wonderful campus ISK is, and just what an incredible privilege it is to be able to call our campus home. So hello, and what a pleasure it is to meet you. All right, just a little bit about me. As I said, my name's Leah Farrell. I'm American. I spent exactly half of my childhood split between Virginia, so 9 years living there, and the other 9 between Accra, Ghana, Lusaka, Zambia, and Nairobi, obviously, where I graduated. And yeah, ISK just had a really, really big impact on me. Today, I'm going to share a memory from my time. I want to say it was between my sophomore or junior year, but regardless, I obviously, we have our club activities that we do, and I had decided to join the Students for the Environment Club. And I remember in one of my first meetings, it was in Mr. Walbridge's classroom, of course, and Mr. Simone and all of us were sitting there, and we were talking about goals for the year. Traditionally, SFE had kind of leaned more into the educational dimension of activism, and that there were bake sales and sometimes talks and discussions about actions that community members could take to reduce their impact on the environment, like say turning the faucet off when you brush your teeth. But we wanted to kind of lean further into the implementation dimension of activism, basically what are you actually going to do about it, if that makes sense. Education and awareness are important, but they have to be followed by some sort of action. So we had thrown out a few ideas and none of them had really landed. And then I just thought about how we always saw those big trucks, waste trucks, collect our campus waste and then obviously leave. My question was, where does our trash go? And so I posed this to the group and no one could answer. So we all sat down and we did some research and we just asked some people who knew, and we found out that our waste actually went to a dump site called Dandora. This is a very large dump in a different part of our city, Nairobi. And not only is it a super large dump, if not the largest in the whole city, but there's actually a community that lives in and around the dump site. Due to the toxins and the bacteria that result from the dump site that leach into the soil and the water, there are actually generational health impacts that are experienced by the residents in the area. And so we sat with this information in our findings. And we also referenced our school's mission, which is to inspire and nurture passion, creativity, and ambition in the pursuit of a better world. And we were just thinking, wow, our actions are just very much at odds with our school mission. And so how can we make sure that the way that the actions that we take and engage in on a daily basis are further in line with our mission? Obviously, it's something you always strive for, but it's still important to try. So we had our problem identified, which was the way that we dispose and deal with our waste. If you see a little tail, I just have a puppy here. But we had identified our issue, which was how do we dispose of our waste? The next question, which is one of the biggest questions, is always, but what are you going to do about it? So we took our findings and about the problem, and then we followed that up with looking at solutions. Our solution took the form of Taka Taka, which is a waste management company that actually works with the community to partner with them in order to better manage waste that is sent to the dump. And they do this in a way that is very transformative because it's not just the traditional, hey, let's recycle model, but it really is a model in which the community is consulted, employed, trained, and educated to work to mitigate a lot of the effects that are felt, whether it's economic or health based in this dump. took this information, we went and we scheduled a meeting with Director Henry at the time and the board. We practiced our presentation and delivery, and it was just a really nerve-wracking experience because we're 16, 17, and we're supposed to stand in a room with all of these board members that are watching us present. And it was just I just felt a sense of dread doing this because I'm like, I'm young, maybe I'm gonna stutter during my presentation. And essentially, Mr. Walbridge and Mr. Simone just said, hey, look, you found an issue, you understand that you have a moral obligation to do the right thing, and you're doing the right thing, and that should empower you to walk into the situation even if you're scared. And it's okay to be scared, but it's about the actions that you take, right? We gave the presentation, and we actually ended up the board saw our proposal. They saw how much time and effort we had put into this, and they said, this is a really great idea, and we entered a partnership with Taka Taka. That was just an example of times at ISK where the notions that are constantly talked about being a change maker, about being a leader, making impactful and positive impacts, like, on your community and on the world. It wasn't just something that was talked to us about, but it was something that we actually did. And that really was a very impactful memory for me. And it served as a foundational memory in which I was able to refer when I went to university and into the professional world. Just a bit about my college experience. My parents actually grew up very, very poor in the US, and they joined the military and then went into the Foreign Service. But I'm the first person in my family to go to college, and just the encouragement that I received at ISK to just approach all of my work with passion and to be very engaged, to consider the perspectives of others, that all informed my college experience. So I really got a lot out of college, I'll say. I majored in political science, which, I felt that I was kind of born and bred into just because of the nature of my childhood. Obviously, all of you all can relate to that. And then philosophy, because I wanted to really learn how to think critically and how to just sharpen my mind so that I could approach these problems in a way that was more effective. I'll just leave you all with this. I've done a lot in my short life. I'm 23 now. I have worked at the sheriff's office in Jacksonville. I have been an educator teaching women how to read in my local jail. And I now work at Solar United Neighbors, which is a energy democracy nonprofit. And in my role as a solar access and affordability associate, I advocate for vulnerable communities and impoverished communities across the Atlantic southeastern portion of the United States. And I work to push for increased access to solar energy. There's an aspect of utility accountability, meaning that, when people raise rates for energy bills, they're held accountable, especially because so many people are not able to afford them. But we know that energy is a right, and access to clean energy that, does not harm our communities is also a right. So I work in that, but I just have to say, it's like, I know you guys are tired of hearing this. All of you are tired of hearing this, but high school is such a awesome time. It feels like it's gonna drag on forever, but I promise it'll be gone in a flash. And here's the main frustration. Your brain as a teenager is expanding, and your capacity to make decisions is just at the highest that it's ever been. And you're able to think more critically and to consider your environment and all of your relationships, but you're still a child. And so the friction point there is that with this expanded mind, you don't have the freedoms that sometimes you wish that you did. The opportunity in this is without the responsibilities that you have as an adult, you have more freedom to try new things, to make mistakes, to push yourself in different ways, and you have a safe landing pad that is your community and hopefully your family. And so really seize this opportunity, be engaged in the work that you do, be engaged in the clubs that you take part in. Work to build friendships that nourish you and work to be a good friend and engaged student. And if you see a problem in the world, work with, trusted adults and friends and family members to try and come up with awesome solutions, because it is possible and the world really is your oyster. And I just have to say, I'm going to leave you with a quote by one of my favorite historical figures of just all time, Shirley Chisholm. She said, "I am and will always be a catalyst for change." Please don't ever underestimate the power that you have. And when you take accountability for your role in creating a better world, I promise that you will find so much joy in the changes that you're able to take part of. And you will find an increased level of hope for the future and just a general joy of living that you would not otherwise get if you weren't engaged. I hope that ISK continues to be a change maker and a leader in the community and just in the world. And again, it has had such a profound impact on me, and I can't be any more grateful than I am for the opportunities that I was presented in my time at ISK and the foundation that it has given me. So thank you all. And for those of you who are taking my energy justice workshop later, I look forward to working and collaborating with you all. Again, thank you all of my teachers. Thanks for everything.